Hey, welcome to 23 Degrees Sideways. I figured since I'm out here, I was doing a tree video, but since I'm out here recording and I've got good light this morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's not actually over 90 degrees yet, I would do some more videos. Let's talk about politics. Hoorah! Actually, we're not really talking about politics. So I recently listened to a video from Bo of the Fifth Column, and it's funny because I used to listen to him as a kind of a counterpoint. This is a couple years ago. I was listening to, before the crazy days, I was listening to Bo of the Fifth Column and Tim Pool kind of off each other, just because they're both conspiracy theorists, but they come at it from different angles. But this was before everything went nuts. So I haven't watched Bo for a long time. I also, I gave up on Bo of the Fifth Column because of his audience. His audience is very intolerant of any discussion, any questions, even a hint of moderate compromise. They're one of the better examples I have of the American left being intolerant. Yeah, that's about it. Anyway, listen to one of his videos lately, just because of something in a discussion that we'll get into, and wow. I don't actually consider myself right-wing. I'm a pro-government libertarian in a sense. I'm a anti-authoritarian. Right now, I'm watching videos in Portland of Democrats burning books. Right now, I'm a Republican. I'm not a lifelong Republican. I would support the Reform Party if they had any traction. I mean, Jesse Ventura, the old Donald Trump thing, yeah, I kind of like that. I mean, but I don't know, things are a little weird right now. So, politics. Got involved in a conversation, led me to listen to a Bo rant recently, and I feel like he's not dealing with current reality very well at all. He's almost like he's specifically avoiding dealing with actual reality in favor of dealing with conspiracy theory. Kind of weird. Anyway, he's not really the topic. The person who referenced the video is the topic. So we had a conversation. There's a report out about the $30 billion of defense spending that's part of the second coronavirus stimulus package. And because this isn't about current events specifically, I want to talk about stimulus package, spending bill. So this is a spending bill. This is a congressional spending bill. Congress does that. That's their job. The president doesn't do spending bills. The judges don't do spending bills. Thank God. Okay? Spending bills are the job of the legislature, for good or ill. And part of that means compromise. We have a fairly large legislature because we have a fairly large country, and in order to get everything to work, you have a bunch of people with competing interests who have to add stuff, subtract stuff, and compromise. So you get this huge pile of stuff to spend money on, money you don't have, whatever, different argument. And then you have to subtract from that, add to that, whittle it around, and compromise until you have something that people will vote on and will pass. Now, these are your representatives. They should be getting some of that money for you. It's the way the system works, all right? You can argue that we should have a differently structured system. Taxation is theft. Social programs shouldn't be about regional politics. I don't care what the argument is. The way it works right now is pretty simple. You have a representative. He's going to have to advantage his people in order to get reelected. And there's a bunch of compromise and arguments, and there's party politics and large ideological politics involved. So you get a spending bill. Now, you can call the spending bill anything you want, and then this particular spending bill does have a short title that says coronavirus in it. So that is a main focus of the spending bill, but that's never going to be all of the spending bill. There's no way to mandate that. There's no way to set a law that says if you use this word in the title, you're not allowed to do anything on this topic. It's no. Okay, so there's really no problem with $30 billion of military spending in that. It's not a significant percentage. It's a non-noticeable percentage of $1.2 trillion or whatever. So, but people are kind of up in arms about it. Like, why would you make war under coronavirus? I'm like, well, there's something called economic stimulus. This is a stimulus package. That's what it is. It's a spending bill to stimulate and protect our economy. And production of military goods, government contracts, is part of that. Yes, production of medical goods for government contracts is also part of that. Production of medical goods for the military is part of that. And that's a significant part of your $30 billion right there, right? But it's an economic stimulus bill, so wherever there's a government contract to pay companies to do stuff, you're going to find funding. That's the way it's going to be. I don't know why people are picking on the military aspects of that. Well, I mean, I do. There are a lot of people who think that if we just got rid of the military, the world would magically be peaceful and no country would ever invade us or hate us or try to play trade war against us or anything. Those people need a dose of reality, because it doesn't work that way. World politics is always a game of empires, and defending against those empires is probably the biggest single task of our government that is actually valid, rational, outside of protecting individual rights. Okay. So there's this big, huge thing about this bill, and people are arguing why do they do this? Why do they have all this pork? It's a pork bill. It's literally a stimulus bill. Okay, so there's that. Why should these unrelated things be in there? Well, because you have to get compromise. And there's an argument made that this is a bunch of stuff that would never get passed on its own. There's some validity to that. But let's look at both sides of the validity to that. One is we have over 5,000 individual government agencies with millions and millions of employees. Okay? Are you supposed to give each one of those their own individual funding bill once or twice a year in Congress? Do you think anything is going to happen? Do you think anything is going to pass? There's way too much government to do these limited, you're only doing this bill and have it pass. It's not possible. And the other part is that we have an politics of non-reconciliation right now. And that is, I argue, mostly the Democrats. Mostly because of the progressives who have taken over the Democratic Party, even though they're only 8% of the party. Not going to mince words. This is my opinion. I am, again, not a lifelong Republican, okay? Right now, the Republicans aren't burning the books. The progressives are. So I'm going to be anti-progressive because they're burning the books. Let's look at this. I am for individual freedom, and I'm for social freedom, so I'm going to have to pick my sides accordingly. Anyway, politics of non-reconciliation primarily comes from the Democrats right now. Okay, I can back this up. I can show you the bills. This is Nevada. I just got done 2 days ago fighting an emergency last-minute 24-hour notice, no public input, no one gets to read it, 100-page bill that's going to completely rewrite the entire election process for the state of Nevada with less then 4 months before a presidential election, and even our Secretary of State, who runs the elections, didn't get to see the bill, and we had to vote on it. Well, we squashed it, fortunately, but this was exactly, purely, totally, 100% no compromise. Republicans not allowed to see it. Democrat politics. That's not reconciliation. It's not compromise. It's not working together. All right. Stimulus bills. Again, 2020, we're dealing with the coronavirus. The first coronavirus response bill, which involves spending, you probably don't even know about. The news didn't report a lot about it because it just sailed through. Democrats wrote it. It had a bunch of shit in it. Mitch McConnell says, dude, we got to pass this. We'll deal with stuff later. Right now we need the first bill passed. Suck it up. It's going to leave a bad taste in your mouth. Vote for it. That's compromise. That's the Republicans working with the Democrats. Second bill comes out. Nancy Pelosi delays it for a week because she wants to screech about how Donald Trump's third cousin, twice removed, might be able to get a small business loan unless we rewrite the whole package to make sure that he doesn't get one. In the middle of a global fucking economic crisis, that's what the Democrats delay a stimulus package for. Politics of non-reconciliation. This is the other reason why you can't have smaller individual stimulus or spending bills. Okay, you can't do little tiny spending bills. You have to piggyback stuff together because we have politics of non-reconciliation. You're never going to get an individual bill to pass. You're never going to get the individual bill to pass. You have to add your spending bill in with the other bill and make an omnibus bill. And that's part of the compromise of getting things to actually happen. You can't talk about it. You can't say, we're going to have the pro-America defense spending bill annex to help deal with the drug war with South America, because politics of non-reconciliation. It's going to become a way for one side to try to demonize the other. Okay? Just won't work. I am at 12 and a half minutes, so we're getting pretty far up there in my time. And I have a whole bunch of topics on this from this thread to talk about. I thought right now I would just talk about that little section there. All right? It's not a conspiracy theory that you have to add a bunch of crap into a stimulus bill, a spending bill. It's just the way things work. There's no other way for it to work, okay? It's not even worth complaining about because it's a positive. It allows us to at least have some compromise and some negotiation. Spending bill. A stimulus bill, a spending bill that is a stimulus bill should include stimulus. If you don't like the fact that some of that stimulus involves welfare or defense spending or whatever, well, that's part of the compromise. Deal with it. Suck it up, put on your big boy panties, and deal with it. People. All right. I don't even know if that's sideways. It's a dose of reality. Stay real. Have a good one.